What's up everybody, welcome to another MeTime Gamer video. Today I'm going to start a new series off about Arma 3. This is going to be how to basically set up and get your own personal server. This is not going to be for a dedicated server like away from ever how servers work. I'm not too sure how they work exactly, but this basically is going to be a server for Arma 3 you personally run on your own computer. And basically what I'm going to show you throughout this series, hopefully, is going to be how to just do the main setups today. So yeah, sorry, I'm going to show you the main setups, like how to do custom loadouts, respawning, all those nice little things. But today I'm going to start off with introduction just to how to set it up. So right before we start, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not a professional coder. This is all stuff I learned by just viewing videos and looking at tutorials and stuff like that, so I might not know all the codings and I might not have all the terms correctly, but you'll understand it. You'll get what I mean when I'm talking. So to get a good understanding and to get one started up yourself. So basically, what I'll do, the first thing I would suggest is you getting Notepad++. So what Notepad++ will do is it will help us when we're going to basically it's going to help us more easily visualize our coding. So like when we have brackets to define certain items in the coding itself, it's going to be easier to look at, which I'm going to show you a bit later. Well, first off, the first thing we need to do before we start anything scripting, we have to create our mission. So we're going to open up Arma 3. Okay. So best thing to do when you start is you can do it in editor here, but the problem is when you create it in editor, it only works in single player. So right off the bat, I'm going to go to multiplayer and I'm going to start from there, just so, because if you want to make a multiplayer mission, it's easier to already start on there right away. So what we're going to do, we're going to press new here at the bottom, and here's the place where you're going to set your information. If you just want to program and you're not giving access to anybody, you can leave this information as is, or you can do it as you want it. So let's say if you want to start inviting your friends to help to test or just to play around, you can set this information here. So basically the way I set it is, let's say for this purpose tutorial, set this to internet, port we don't change. This week I set it to 20. Usually I don't go past 20 just so because it's only running on my PC, and we can just set some random password. Right? Then after that we go to the bottom right and we press OK. It's going to port forward. Alright, so now this what loads up. So here you can select your difficulty. I never change it, I just leave it for that. That's for the AI. And then you can have, depending on the mods you have loaded, you can select your different maps on here. So you got your base, you got your 3 base one, and me, I got Lakeside loaded. So I'm going to take Lakeside because that's the map I'm used to taking. And we will create a new mission file here. Double click on new editor. Alright, so we are loaded into Lakeside Valley. So what we're going to do for the tutorial, we're going to take care of everything downtown Lakeside. So right now, the first thing you need to do before we keep going is we're going to save it. So we're going to save, we're going to call it tutorial. And we're going to save it as export to multiplayer missions. So this is going to allow us to play it on multiplayer. So okay, we got the name here, and you'll see as soon as you do something on the map, let's say I do this, I will set just for right now. Each time you have a star beside it, that means you need to save it. That means there's something new since the last time you save it. So keep that in mind. Save frequently, because sometimes if let's say you have some scripting wrong, it will shut down your game entirely and tell you what the mistake is in your scripting. So for now, so we will start off, first thing you need before you start anything is you need a character, so a player character. So first you'll double click, blue 4, select NATO, we will select men, and we will keep range master. So one thing you have to make sure is your player here, he has he set the player, so you'll log into that one, and the rest you can keep the way it is. It doesn't really matter. And here, your name we can call him player 1. This will be name is to if we want to redirect an executable towards him, we're going to use player 1 as the name of the item. So basically, your program will be looking for player 1 whenever we define player 1 as being an action devoted to him. Description will be basically a name you're giving to it. So basically, in this case, and description will show up in the lobby. So we'll call it master player. And initialization, that's for action later on, where we can look in for later tutorials. So you press that character, you can hit it. So he's there. Circle means he's a player character. And one thing also, if you want to change the orientation of your person, you can hold shift, and we're going to be able to rotate him any direction you want. Also, if you feel like typing more direct thing, you can change it here azimuth, and the elevation. The elevation is more useful for placing down buildings and stuff like that, which come with some mods and stuff. And if you want to delete it, basically, copy. So if you want stuff you want to delete, the only way you can delete is you have to hover your cursor and just press delete on your keyboard. So let's go back, set him back to player. Still there. Right. So as right now, what we have here is just the basic thing. We'll save it. So we only have basic. There's nothing going on. One thing also, like, there's no respawn. So here right now, what's gonna happen is your character does not respawn. So the way I'll show you that is I will spawn in a red 4 non-player character. CSAT and take an auto assault, kill it. Definition doesn't matter here, and we can just orient towards us. Then you press preview. When you press preview, it also saves. So now we're going to load in. As you can see, the slot is taken by an AI, which we're going to disable later in coding, but you can also want to leave it on to play. Let's say if you want to test out other players, which I'm going to show you how to add other players later. You can leave it enable, and you're going to load in others. But for now, we're going to just go and click on it, disable it, enable it, but we're slot. It's okay. On the load up. Usually there's a square here that pops up with mission information, but if it's not defined, it's not going to give us any information. See, I think I was already shot dead. And of course, because I haven't defined respawn, I cannot respawn. All players dead, mission failed, and that's how it ends. So basically, now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to simple scripting files we need to start doing what we need so we can respawn and give our mission a title while it's loading. Our desktop. So to find this information, you will need to press your File Explorer. To your File Explorer, Documents, 3 file, your username, MP for multiplayer missions, and we will take tutorial number 2. Right now, we only have our mission file because we haven't. This is where when you put anything in your mission, it's going to load into this file right here. We won't go screwing around in there. I don't know what it is. So 2 files you'll need is one of them is description file, which I already predefined. I already did one, but you can just press new text, and then you're gonna write down description.ext. You're gonna erase that .txt at the end because you don't need it, and you press OK. We'll also do another file, which we will use in another tutorial later. The init for initiate on startup. And you're gonna call it .sqf, and this is another file. This one I don't have anything. Description I do have something inside of it. So just to go a bit faster here. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna right click, edit in Notepad++, and you see that it gave us, this is a file I already worked on. So first line, this is the first block basically on the loading screen, which defines the author, gamer, onLoadName, tutorial mission, onLoadMission for tutorial purposes. That's the line at the bottom. This is the line under, that's the name of the file. EnableSave will false because we're not going to allow saving on the server. RespawnDialog, true, and loadScreen. This is where you're going to put in that little box that loads into the middle of your loading screen. This information, there's a small image. This is where you would put it. Usually in this case in your mission file, the one that I opened up where I put the description in an in file, you would, to keep it clean, you would put up like pictures folder, and then you would type in image GPG. That would be your image that would be used. Also, always make sure that it's a backslash and not a forward slash, and make sure you do not put a backslash at the beginning also, because it will not read it. So I'll leave this blank like this, just so you guys can have a reference. Also, we'll skip this. I'll go back to this right after. Click class header. Basically, that's going to define our game type. It doesn't change anything. It just classes it as a co-op mission. Our minimum to maximum player, 1 to 20. And after that, other things I enable myself for cleaning purposes, for testing. Disable AI. 1 is true, 0 is false, so 0 will not disable it and 1 will disable them. Enable debug console, 1 for enabling, 0 for disabling. This will let you, when you press escape, it's going to pop up the debug console, let you do codes on the fly that you want to try out and stuff like that. And yeah, I'll just erase that because we don't need it right now. And these are like house cleaning things. So corpses, it's gonna delete. So corpseManagerMode on, 1 for on, 0 for off. This defines so it basically cleans up when there's corpses or dead player entities or AI entities. So you're gonna max it out. You can choose the number you want. So I max it out here at 1. So as soon as there's 1 dead player, within a minimum of 5 seconds to a maximum of 10 seconds, I want you to erase that body. Same thing with vehicle, 1 for on, 0 for off. Oops. Sorry about that. 0 for off, wreck to 1 vehicle, broken, and take it off between 10 seconds. Now, the other thing to fix our respawn will be this part right here, respawn. So, if you go onto Bohemian's website, you get the different definitions of these. Also for the different game types, there's one co-op is cooperative missions, or you can do TD. You can write down TDM for team deathmatch and so on. You can find all those information on the Bohemian website with the coding and scripting that I'm using. So back to respawn. Base is basically the main one you'll use most of the time. This will basically bring you back to your blue 4 base. And there's more information, like I said, you can find on the site about that. Respawn delay, so that's the counter. You can set it to 3. This is in seconds, so I got it set to 3 seconds. And respawnOnStart. If you set this to 0, your character will not respawn. It will just start the game where you position in your editor. If you hit respawnOnStart, it's gonna kill your character and then respawn them immediately. This is good. This usually is good if you want to have a spawn position menu, but we'll talk about that in the next video. So that is the basic definition of what you need. Usually in some tutorial they don't even show you this part here, but I'm going to show you right away just so you easily define everything. So we'll save that. So we will go back in game right now, and we will go back to our mission. So now, when you change stuff, always make sure to save on your on your files. Make sure to save everything, of course. And then after that, you when we come back here, just make sure before you try if anything you change, that if restart is not there, that means it's already at the base. It hasn't done anything yet. So what we're going to do now is we're going to select our mission. We're going to do play. See, as I defined, master slot has nobody inside of it because we disabled it in our description file. And we see we got all our information. Mission, tutorial mission by MeTime Gamer for tutorial purposes. And usually if you don't define an image, it's going to load one. So this is our setup screen. Press continue from here. As you can see, it respawned us right at the beginning. And for some reason it respawned me in the debug section. So we will just activate. You see it has our debug console, so this little code here, which I can show you later. On map click, this is just so I can click on the map to move myself back to where. Click here. See, now I'm loaded back, and you see now I'm dead. And now what's gonna keep happening is I'm gonna keep respawning on my over top of my dead body every time. See, as you can see, it's taking care of the dead bodies in front of me. And I'm respawning every time, it's not just ending the mission, so we'll stop that. Save and exit. It doesn't actually save anything, but... And then we will... And that's it for starting a basic mission, just so you guys get wrap your head around. I'm going to leave this video here. Next video, I'm going to speak about how to do a spawn menu so you can choose positions around the map to spawn. And thank you for watching. Hit that like video if you enjoyed, and please do subscribe to the channel. We'd really appreciate it. I will see you in the next video.